Welcome to Shinydocs, How to Find Obsolete Files, using the Cognitive Toolkit for ROT Analysis. Obsolete files are found using the three standard date properties of a file: the created, modified, and access date. Our Cognitive Toolkit relies on the Lucene query syntax to find files based on this metadata. In Lucene, the created date equivalent is creation time UTC, modified date is last write time UTC, and access date is last access time UTC. So here are some examples of a date range query using the Lucene syntax. In the first instance, we are going to return any files that have an extension of log or .log and a creation time between August 31st of 2019 and September 30th of 2019. In the second example, we've replaced the beginning date with an asterisk, which will basically take us back as far back in time as possible and still end at the September 30th date, 2019. So here we are within the Shinydocs visualization tool, where we are looking at a data set that contains 25,598 files. So now we're going to look for strictly obsolete files. We're going to start with what we consider low risk, which are going to be log files with a created date older than 6 months. So we'll copy our query, paste it into the visualization tool, and we will see that it returned 23 files that fit the query that we entered for low risk obsolete. So this is great. We can see that most of them are log files, which was in our query. However, the real power lies within the Shinydocs eDiscovery. So if we paste the same query into the eDiscovery tool and do a search, we'll see that it returns the same 23 files. However, within the eDiscovery tool, we can now right-click, select all of the files, right-click again, hit Classifications, set classification. What classification would you like to change? So we're going to change this to ROT Obsolete, set the classification, and the value we're going to set is low risk obsolete. Set value, and we have successfully set the classification of all of these files to low risk obsolete. So now we can move on to what we consider medium risk. In this example, it's going to be files with a modified date older than 1 year and contains the word draft in the file name or folder name. So we're going to copy our query, paste it into the eDiscovery tool, and do a search. So in this instance, it returned 130 files, all that met the medium risk criteria of being a year old and having the word draft in the file name or the folder name. Again, we will right-click, select all, right-click again, classifications, set classifications. Again, we're going to classify it as ROT Obsolete. And the value we'll assign to these will be medium risk obsolete. Set the value. And then finally, we're going to move on to what is considered high-risk obsolete files. So these are all the files that have a created date and a modified date older than 7 years, basically meaning that they were created at least 7 years ago and nobody has modified them since. We'll paste our query and do a search. So in this instance, it returned 279 files that are considered high risk. Now these files are considered high risk because they're 7 years old. They haven't been touched in 7 years. And therefore they may contain data that is really obsolete and perhaps sensitive, containing PII and things that you don't really need and that are just cluttering up our storage space. So again, we will right-click, select all, classifications, set classification. We're going to set it as rot obsolete. And then we're going to give it a value of high risk obsolete. Set the value. And we're done. So we have just classified 432 files as obsolete within minutes.